Welcome, Patreon backers, to the extended version of our weekly podcast. This might be a long one. We're going to be discussing the finale. It comes down to this. My name's Dave. With me, as always, is my mom.
Hello, everyone.
So, without going into too many, well, actually, let's just talk about some stuff. How was your week since we last recorded?
Well, I spent pretty much 4 days with Liam. That was fun. I'm a little tired. He's just
Ball of energy
10-year-old with a lot of energy. Yeah.
Right.
Lots.
Yeah, no sugar required. He's good.
Yeah. I'm a little terrified because I have to actually drive out of town tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done that for about 12 years.
Wait, you haven't left you haven't left in 12 years? Huh. Okay.
I've had no reason to.
Yeah, fair enough.
The last time I went out of town was when Jess and Liam flew to Calgary. And that would have been, I'm thinking, like, I don't know, 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. So a good 10 years since I've been out of town.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I also point out something?
Sure.
When I've been, because we discussed Calgary versus Edmonton in the playoffs the last time on one of our intros
The Battle of Alberta.
I have listened to a couple of American commentators pronounce Calgary, and they always go Calgary, and I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong.
Calgary.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the first time when I moved out to Toronto or Ontario, I read because I was like trying to learn everything I can, right?
Oh, sure.
So one of the things was they sell milk in bags, and I was like, okay, whatever.
They used to do that here.
That did take some getting used to, but one of the things you apparently have to learn before going to Toronto is pronouncing it. Like if you were to say Toronto, people are like, ooh,
no, it's Toronto.
It's Toronto. You don't pronounce the second
Toronto.
T.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought that was so weird. I was
I'm
like,
not even
really?
sure
Not
why
pronouncing
the second T is there.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, really? That's that big a deal? And once I was there for like 6 months, when I heard someone say Toronto, I'm like, ooh. I can hear it. I can hear it. Yeah.
You're a newbie. Yeah.
That's so weird. And so I just thought the same thing with Calgary, because it's Gurry, not Calgary. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's like pronouncing Los Angeles.
Oh, exactly, right? Not Los Angeles. That'd probably be up there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Anyway.
Yeah, my week has been
New
pretty
Orleans.
uneventful. What?
New Orleans.
Send us emails. I wanna hear phonetically how to pronounce things that properly.
Yes.
Because you're supposed to probably say New Orleans.
Probably. I always just say New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's you got to have that southern draw on your when you say New Orleans.
Some of these names I get from, I'm a huge NFL fan, by the way. The Ravens are definitely taking it all this year. You heard it here first. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Anyway, I listen to how they pronounce all their names, right? Because a lot of them have teams.
Really quick question, Mom. You know Tom Brady's back, right? Like he's playing another season.
Yes, I heard.
Okay. He took a summer off, and his wife was like, "You know what? I don't need you around the house as much. I've gotten used to you not in the house." Giselle was like, "Go and do your football thing. Throw a ball around.
Just go. I don't care what you do. Just go." That's how I feel about him as a fan. Just go.
Well, I bet you he's like, yeah, I've got 6 rings, and they were going to pay me this much for one more season. And Giselle was like, they're going to pay you how much?
But you heard he got a better contract, though, hey?
I know.
Yeah. So he's going to play one more. But then what's he going to do, Dave?
Probably play one more.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm talking about his better contract.
What do you mean?
You
What do you mean
didn't
is
hear
better?
this?
No, I
Oh,
know we got paid more money, but
he
what's
is
the?
going to be the highest paid football announcer ever. I can't actually remember the numbers on the
Wow.
contract because when I hear Tom Brady, I kind of go, I turn it off. But
I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie. I want to hear Tom Brady
I
analyze some
don't.
football. I
I
really
don't
do.
ever want to hear him talk again. Not that I
Oh,
ever did, but I really don't. But at least
okay,
he
fair
won't be
enough.
throwing the Super Bowl around anymore, the trophy,
Now,
right? So
okay, fair enough.
that's
I
good.
mean,
But
we have our differencing opinions on Tom Brady. I have
yeah,
lost a
well,
lot of money on Tom Brady, but I respect his ability to play the game.
I just have no respect. Sorry, Tom, no respect.
Okay, we'll have to find a way to send this to him on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah, I would like
I'll
that.
edit out this clip. So, without going into too much spoilers, I didn't really like this episode. You said you loved it.
Well, I mean, as a viewer, I thought it was good. I don't, like you, let my heart get involved of my viewing. Okay.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
I just wanted to see them all do their best and play. Okay. There were some world shaking moments that I wasn't
Mhm.
happy with, but you know what? I mean, it could have gone either way. And so many things came into play as it did all season. So, I liked it.
I've decided that for season 43, I'm gonna make some sort of like bingo card.
Oh,
Because yeah, every other episode, Jeff says that's how we do it on Survivor. Or you could make a bingo card with a square being like Jonathan says Mr. Jeff,
right.
right? Jeff talking to camera. That could be a square easy.
True. Now, yes.
I actually don't mind the Jeff talking to camera,
He
but
actually, this episode, the one thing that did stick out for me about Jeff was he actually referenced his hair. I've been out here for so long, I've got a mullet.
I've got a mullet. I love that line. I wrote that in my notes. I thought that
And I
was
was like,
hilarious.
okay, yes, you do. Yes,
I
you do,
loved
Mr. Jeff.
everyone's reaction when Jeff's like, "Oh, there's one more twist. We're gonna read the votes right now." And God, I love Tori and Drea on the jury. They are
Okay,
just
that's
hilarious.
when my whole room got lively again with everybody going, "Oh, look at Tori! Oh, look at Drea!"
Yeah. They're doing the arm shakes. They're like, "Oh my God!"
And the facial thing with Tori, I can't even do it, but
Oh, there were
oh
so
my
many
goodness,
close-ups on Tori and Drea. They really gave them a lot of screen time because
they
their
did.
side eye and their yeah.
So they should have. They were entertaining.
And can I? And I guess it's probably good. This is going on the intro instead of on the actual YouTubes right away. But are you the only one that's thrown whenever a female contestant gets voted out and gets on the jury? I'm always like, oh, they look so much different with makeup on because you get
Huh.
so used to seeing them for like 2 weeks without any makeup, and so
I gotta
it
tell
throws me
you,
sometimes.
I don't really notice it. What I do notice is the men with no beards, the men with shampooed hair, the
Oh,
men
okay.
with clean clothes. That's what I noticed, Dave. So
Omar and his shirt matching his socks,
right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh, did
I'm
Omar make a point of every article of clothing have some form of animal on it? Because
pretty sure.
everything did.
Pretty sure.
Oh
I'm
man,
really the saddest thing about the whole episode was that I didn't get to see Jonathan all cleaned up.
yeah, that's
Because I
true.
would have liked to have seen that. I'm sure a lot of people would. Anyway.
Why did he show up to Final Tribal with a shirt on? Come on, CBS Survivor, get it together.
Ooh, you are so fuzzy. Is that
I
me or
am
you?
so fuzzy. Let's figure that out. Let's figure that out right now. That's why we have the pre-show to get these things figured out.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
I can
Yep.
see your eyes.
Yeah, figured it
That's
out.
wonderful.
So, shall we just kind of get into the episode? Anything else
We
you want to
dive
discuss?
into it. Oh, my notes are definitely not in order. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, they are.
Okay.
See, notes.
Notes. Okay. Then we'll get into the episode here.
I just want everybody to know that I do these kind of notes and Dave does them on his phone. I just want you all to know that I do have a phone. Okay. Just in case you're all wondering.
Yeah.
I do live in this world. All right.
Yeah. She does not own a typewriter. She's not printing out the internet. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
She's not allergic to technology, people. She knows how it works.
I do.
If it makes you feel any better, Drew did the same thing. Like last season 41, Drew.
Okay, so that's what's funny is he's turning into me, but I cannot possibly turn into my parents because I'm not. Never mind, I won't even go there. Just continue.
Okay. Welcome, YouTube, to the Best Damn Survivor related podcast, where we talk everything about every season of Survivor. The episode we're talking about this week, as it comes down to this, my name's Dave, and with me, as always, my mom.
Hello.
I'm not gonna lie, we discussed this kind of off camera, like in the intro to this, which you can get on Patreon. If you want to see the full extended of this, we've already been talking for a bunch, but I was not the biggest fan.
I know you said that.
I thought the way I wanted it to.
Well, like you watch with your heart.
I feel like this is season 38, Rick Devens all over again, and I'm just like, I
am so over being disappointed. Now, I got to tell people this. When COVID hit, okay, and the entire, North America, at the very least, went into this major lockdown. Was like you just couldn't even leave your house, really. So I didn't. Okay. And I watched Survivor, 40 seasons twice. I got to tell you. So I'm so over getting disappointed about how it all turned out in the end. I am just over it. What I found interesting about this episode is the way it played out. Because for anybody that doesn't know, which if you've been watching us, you do, Dave and I like to try and, Patreon, we have a part of it called Predictinator, where we try and predict who's going to win immunity, who's going to go home, etc. And watch it. You'll love it. I usually win, but that's beside the point. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna live with that for 3 more months.
Ugh. Yeah, you do. Anyway, now where was I going with this? Oh, I liked the episode. None of what I predicted really happened. Okay, this was not the way I saw it going down. I got to tell you, but I found it all interesting. I listened, I learned.
It was interesting.
And it could have gone so many other ways.
It could have gone so many other better ways, in my opinion.
But let's get into it.
Okay.
So
they come back from camp.
Yeah.
Or they come back to a camp, not their camp, and there's nothing.
Did you see them all huddled in the boat? They're all like their backs to the camera, and they climb out of the boat, and they're like, what is this? Anyway, and Romeo, of all people, is like, there's a path, so they all follow Romeo, and like they all just stand there.
Yeah, there's an opening here. Yeah.
There's clothes hanging off the tree. They got a pot, they got a machete, and I have never seen the final 5 looking that depressed in 42 seasons.
Yeah, it's just them standing in a circle being like, so this is it, eh?
Is there any more to see?
I guess that's it. And they're just sort of standing there like, oh, I guess that is it. And there's easily a good 2 minutes of them just standing there being like, this is it, eh? Okay.
So every time you and I do this, Dave, I always watch the show twice. The first just to kind of get the gist of it. The second to jot down notes that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious as to why they put him in a new beach.
I mean, the easy answer is they did it last season. But
I
yeah, I
guess.
don't understand the social like aspect of
Yeah, I don't
I don't
either.
know.
Just to make them stay uncomfortable.
I
I don't
guess.
know. Really
Yeah,
don't
well
know.
they can't make it rain or have a thunderstorm, so we're like
Yeah,
this is
well,
the one thing we can control is
true.
give them to a beach with nothing.
But they kind of get over that fairly quickly, and Lindsay and Jonathan get into a conversation.
Oh.
Okay, what did you think of that?
Jonathan really misfired hard here.
Do you think?
I think Jonathan did not need to be as smug as he was.
I took that a whole different way. I thought Lindsay had no right to be calling him down when she was the first one to break that alliance she was talking about. I mean, Jonathan was right. She voted for him. What does that say about
Right.
the
Jonathan
alliance?
is right. I just think he didn't need to deal with it as smug as he did. He did have the high ground or the moral high ground, but his execution of explaining it to Lindsay was just
Well,
piss terrible.
his well, it's been terrible all season.
He just looks at Lindsay and goes, "You voted for me, though. You voted
You know
for me."
what? It's
And she's
the
like,
way
"Yeah,
he
but," and he's like, "But you voted for me. You voted for me." And it's like, "Oh, Jonathan."
my whole thing on that is that's the way Jonathan talked to everybody, mostly the women during the
Yeah.
whole season. And I think it's a thing where he is big and strong and thinks anybody that is smaller than him is lesser than him. He doesn't have the concept where anybody smaller than him could be smarter. And he did
He
not
does
have a
have a
good
decent
social
amount
game.
of ego. He's constantly telling the camera in his like talking heads being like, "I know what's going on, but I can't say anything." So I think there are times
Do
where
you,
he feels
Jonathan?
well, he thinks he does. He thinks he
Well, that's
does.
what I mean.
But when he gets those chances and he does feel comfortable where he's like, no, I was just proven right, he just turns into the smuggest person ever
Egotistical.
because he thinks he's right all the time but knows he can't say it. So when he
Yeah,
thinks he can say it the floodgates open and
the
it's just all
floodgates
this
open.
smug washes over the entire city. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he thinks he's always right. But the problem with Jonathan is he thinks he can never say it.
I
And
know.
the real problem is you're not as right as you think you are, Jonathan. Just what's the quote I say all the time? It's better to be thought of a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Right.
Jonathan, just every now and then, there's been 2 times this game where Jonathan's like, no, I can actually say I'm really smart now. I'm in a good place. And
Yeah,
misfired both. Misfired both times.
he did. He did.
Omer lets him off the leash for one night and yeah, Jonathan just starts
Boom.
chasing cars. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course. I love Romeo doing the fake idol.
I love that. That was relatively clever.
For him, I thought. Yeah. Now, I have a question though, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because I've been making idols.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Very
just
good, by the
'cause
way. Yeah.
they're fun. But I mean, I had to go to the beach and scrounge stuff. I had to go to the dollar store and pick up a few things that I couldn't find, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Now, I noticed on Romeo's idol, it was quite colorful.
Right.
Now, I know darn well I didn't find any colored beads down on the beach. So, do they give them a little box of art supplies and say
They might have when they got the merge flag. Maybe there is.
in case you decide to make an idol, here, have a kit.
Well, you have to think like everything's got little tiny beads and decorations on it. So one survivor over the course of it.
What? Tell me what.
Okay.
Name one thing.
Could he have stolen beads off the immunity necklace? No, that'd be too sacred. He
No,
wouldn't do that.
that'd be too. No, couldn't do that. There wasn't any on it anyway.
He
What
could
did
have.
you do? Go to the cameraman and go, hey, Can I have those? Hey, can I have those? Anyway,
I am trying to think of where he would have found it.
I don't know. It was confusing to me. But anyway, kudos to him.
It looked pretty good.
It did. I think it did. Anyway,
Yeah.
he just, stands in the dark and goes, yeah, so just in case you're thinking about voting me out next time, I'm making it to Final Four because I have an idol, and then you can do what you want with me. And I'm like, whoa.
It's very smart. Everyone just believes it. Mike is like, yeah,
Well,
good for you. You're playing your game. You do
because
you.
because there is a possibility he could have one. Nobody really thought he had it. I don't know if anybody thought anybody had it, but there definitely was a possibility.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, it had to go through their heads, but anyway. And then, okay, and then what happens? Are we at the next day yet?
We're at the next day. Yeah. Well, first, before we get to the big news, they do this storyline of Mike promising Marianne and Lindsay.
Oh, you mean Mike promising everybody his idol?
He didn't. Oh, that's right. I guess over the course of the episode, he does. Everyone except Romeo.
Well, everybody thinks Romeo's, and myself included, over in the corner, not even playing.
Yeah.
Okay. He just happens to be there at travel so they can write a name down.
So, tree mail.
Tree mail.
Same thing happened last season. I can't remember who won that word scramble. I can't remember, but there was one last season. I think I even still have the picture somewhere.
But anyway, don't worry about it right now.
Anyway, but yeah, there was one last season, and this season it seems like Lindsay's like, I'm good at word scrambles. I'm really good at puzzles.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marianne tries to lowball it, and
well, because as soon as Lindsay gets up and runs, Mike's like, let's all work together.
Yeah, and Marianne's like, okay, I'm gonna have to be the stupid one.
I want you guys out there hunting, so I'm just gonna. And the look on her face at some points was literally too funny. I thought, good, let them figure it out because not one of them could.
Well, let me ask you this: Did you pause it and try to do it yourself? Because I did.
I didn't have time, unfortunately.
I paused it, stared at the screen for 10 minutes. The word I had the two biggest problems with was tucked and sleeping. Those were the two words that I was like, yeah, the is of
okay.
treasure, fortune. Yeah, okay, I got all that.
The word I had trouble with was giant.
Oh, giant took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the easiest word, but I cannot believe I did the same thing Mike did, where I'm like, what is that word? Sleeping? It's like, what word? Like, because I was spacing out the E's. I was obviously spacing out the E's, and
well, of course,
I forgot of a word with two E's in a row.
See, anything with an ing, I put that together and put it at the end immediately.
Oh, that was probably my mistake. Yeah.
And then I would figure out the rest. So I probably would have got that fairly quickly. Like I like those puzzles, but giant was just, mind you, if I had the rest of the words, I probably would have figured it out. But anyway, Lindsay gets it, runs off into the jungle, trying to find this advantage, and has 40 minutes to do it.
So much time.
40 minutes. They're still sitting there trying to figure it out. I don't know how Marianne kept a straight face.
I actually don't even know how Lindsay found it. How are you supposed to think of the toes of the sleeping giant is a rock that kind of looks like a foot? Really?
She looked everywhere. She was desperate.
I would have done the same thing. I would have gone for fallen trees. Fallen trees for sure. Yeah.
That's what I would have done. Yep. Yep.
And it's a rock that kind of looks like a foot if you outline it in that orange color drawing.
Well, if you have gone through all the trees, what do? Right?
Fair enough. Go to the beach.
Exactly.
It's just normally when it comes to rocks at the beach, they always talk about high or low tide.
They do.
And so I was just, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Or crevices in the rocks or something like that. But anyway, she gets the challenge.
Lindsay finds it. What is the reward?
She's happy.
Oh, super happy. I'm not gonna lie. I was very happy for her when she did that because
So was
last
I.
episode we were talking about it and you were like, she's got no chance now. She's got no protection.
Well,
So
I don't know. You and I talked off screen after the last episode,
about
and
how she's searching for something.
she's
But
searching, and I thought it was an idol, but nope. I totally forgot about the advantage. Anyway, she wins it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
she
not.
gets a
the
slight advantage in the next immunity challenge. A slight advantage. Which actually I think is a big advantage. It's just, Jonathan's Jonathan, but we'll get to that.
Because that was next.
Yeah, goes to a commercial break and then we get challenge time. Do you remember what the reward is?
Oh, that would be pasta, salad,
Garlic
cake,
bread.
and Mike's favorite, garlic bread.
Garlic bread,
And
yeah.
Lindsay's favorite, red wine.
Red wine. I personally love that when Mike looked up and he's like, "Did you just say garlic bread, Jeff?" I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then Lindsay's like, "Red wine."
And Mike's like, "Keep your clothes on."
That was hilarious. I like that.
But the challenge, I mean, I've seen this challenge done a few times on Survivor, and I personally, it's one of my favorites.
It's one of Marianne's favorites too.
Marianne's?
Yeah, Marianne said she was like, "Oh, I've been waiting for a station challenge. I've been dreaming of a challenge like this where we have to go to stations." That's what she says walking into it. They're all walking into it being like, "Okay, now this is a challenge, Jeff. You've really set some stuff up here." Okay.
Yeah.
So Lindsay's advantage is at every station she only has to untie one knot instead of everyone else's 6.
Yeah.
Jeff even said it's designed to get you to this station quicker. The rest is up to you.
Yeah.
Little does Jeff know Jonathan exists.
Super beast.
And yeah, he is like, oh, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Jonathan versus Ozzy versus Malcolm versus, oh, who else would be a challenge beast?
Oh, Jonathan would win.
Oh, I think Ozzy. I'd like to see Ozzy versus Jonathan in something physical.
Jonathan, well, yeah, it would have to be like hanging on to the pole or something. I think.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah.
So essentially, I mean, everyone puts in a solid effort. I was very surprised about some people like doing as well as they did, but it comes down to, of all people, Mike versus Lindsay.
I know.
Jonathan just stops doing his puzzle at the end.
Okay, I gotta ask you a question. Is that how you would have attacked that puzzle?
Because Mike's way of doing the outside, ridiculous to me. He made his life way harder, and I don't know why he did that.
I would have done the outside to a point, and then when I realized I knew where all the outside pieces were, I would have laid them on the ground and then started filling in the center.
Oh, once you figure that out, keep those pieces aside just to keep the structural integrity of the puzzle.
Well, yeah, because
that'd be very smart.
I was literally on the edge of my seat thinking one of those babies is going over. Something's gonna fall down here.
Oh, I was, because did I say Lindsay wins the first challenge?
No, did you? No, I did.
Oh.
You said Jonathan.
Oh, you just gave up. But yeah, I was thinking Mike was going to topple his puzzle every single time he put in a piece.
I know, right?
It looked so uneven. How is that possible?
But he actually won.
I cannot believe it. I was actually a little like I was annoyed because it wasn't my pick, but I was happy for him. At least he won a necklace once.
You know what? And like he said, 21 years of watching this show, every season, not only did he get on it, he won a challenge. Jeff is now, and he beat Comp Beasts, right?
Yeah, Lindsay and Jonathan.
Putting the necklace, and I was like, can I have a hug? Right?
I was so happy for Mike. I was happy for him. Yeah, it was nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Good job, Mike.
And even though it messed up all my predictions, I was like, oh, What's going to happen now?
Well, what happens then is Mike gets to pick someone to enjoy pasta with him.
He does. In a
Yeah.
way, I'm not surprised he took Jonathan,
Me neither.
but strategy wise, I'm not sure he should have done that.
No, he just wanted some bro time with Jonathan, and he's
Yeah.
probably heard Jonathan complaining about not getting enough calories. I
Well,
don't
who
have my
didn't?
18 eggs or my 4 chickens, whatever he eats a day.
Who didn't?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Okay.
So he had to take Jonathan. Like, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, they enjoy their pasta, they enjoy their wine, and before you know it, where are we?
Well, they get back to camp, and it turns into, wait, did Mike promise you his idol? Because he promised me his idol. So Lindsay decides to just take Mike on a big old guilt trip.
She pulled a mom. Okay. My kids always tell me I'm the best at this. But yeah, she just went right to him and just laid on the guilt.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't do this for me, I'm screwed, Mike. Like you promised. I thought you were a man of your word. Like I thought, like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he tries to be non-committal. He tries to be like, no, you're a fighter. You'll have to fight a little bit more. Don't worry about it.
This is what, half an hour after he promised it to Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mike. Doing a good job now, babe.
So, I mean, do you have anything before we go into the tribal council following the next commercial break?
Let's get into tribal.
Okay. This one didn't seem this is like what I was talking about off camera, where the dominoes were starting to fall, and I just kind of saw what happened here coming a mile away.
See, I don't know. I didn't because prior to tribal, Marianne was, I thought, quite convincing in the fact that she wanted Lindsay safe.
That's fair.
And I really thought, I was surprised when she didn't play her idol for her. I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it and the way she explained it in the end. I'm glad she smartened up, but I was a little bit shocked.
Oh, see, I had you living in my head because last episode you were just like, she's got no chance. Lindsay's got no chance. She's completely exposed. There's nothing she can do. And so I just had that thought in the back of my head. And so when it got to this tribal, I'm like, sorry, Lindsay, sucks.
Yeah.
Did you like her exit line though?
Well, I got before we get there.
Okay.
First of all, I really didn't know who Mike was going to give that idol to.
I was more leaning on the side of he doesn't play it for anybody. That's what I thought.
Well, the only reason he did that, in my mind, is because he was convinced he could beat Marianne. So now he's looking at, who am I taking with me? I got to get one of these strong players out. I'm going to safeguard Marianne.
He was survivor.
Nobody's voting for Romeo. Romeo's going to vote the way I expect him to. So I need to protect Marianne, and that's what he did.
I would. Yeah, he probably thought he could beat Marianne for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, everyone told him all season, you're super likable, Mike. For the last 3 episodes, everyone's like, I don't want to sit next to Mike. Mike said it. Jonathan said it.
Yep. Mike played a good game. But anyway.
But he thought he was a bigger threat than he was. Go back to, I think one of the Predictinator episodes, I was like, I think I said, Mike is going to make it to final 3 because he's not a threat, because that's not the way the other contestants are looking at him.
I don't think they were either.
Yeah. But Mike thought he was a threat.
Sure he did.
He believed his own hype, I think, when he didn't need to.
I don't know. I'm starting to wonder what's in that immunity necklace, because when anybody gets it ever, seems to just so go to their head that they do and say ridiculous stuff.
Oh, it's amazing when you know
Ridiculous.
you're safe, when you know you will wake up in the game tomorrow morning, still in the game.
You make mistakes.
It is amazing what goes through your head. It
Ah,
blows my mind.
I don't know.
So, did you like her exit line?
Something about food?
Yeah, she puts both her hands up and goes, "I'm gonna eat so much food,"
Oh,
and walks out.
yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah,
Jonathan's
fair
like,
enough."
yeah, enjoy.
But see,
Jonathan, you just ate
we
pasta.
don't know any of that because there's no Ponderosa episodes that are being released right now currently for
Mm,
this season. I
mm.
want to see her saying that 8 minutes of video of her going to the cafe at Ponderosa and just eating like pancakes or like 10 burgers or something like that.
I know, right?
Like, you know, when you get voted out and they do the whole weigh you with the
Yeah.
doctors, you get on a boat, they hand you the menu then. And they're like,
Oh,
yeah, it'll be about 20 minutes till we get to the other island for you
figure
to
out what you
visit.
want.
But here's the menu now because they know that's what the contestant wants most. Like, I need food now. Like,
Yeah, obviously.
I have no idea what I'd pick. Definitely something with fries. I'd probably go breakfast. I'd probably want bacon and eggs or a burger. I wouldn't go pasta.
I'd go seafood.
Seafood. Yeah, fair enough. When in Rome, right? Or when in Fiji. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go seafood.
I feel like I would go comfort food and just go breakfast or like
Definitely garlic bread.
something with potatoes.
Definitely garlic bread.
Definitely garlic bread.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mike and I, man of my own heart, because I love garlic bread.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Romeo decides I'm just gonna spill the beans. There's no point in keeping this secret anymore. Takes his fake idol out and goes, "Hey Jeff, I'm gonna not play this because it's fake. Can I just throw it in the fire?" It was the most anticlimactic fake idol play I think I've
Did you
ever
see
seen.
the look on the jury's face?
Yeah, everyone was like,
What? Okay. So right there, okay, Romeo at that point, I think, was playing to the jury like, look how intelligent I am. I even made a fake idol. You know,
he
and they
did
were
it.
all like,
He revealed it too late. He revealed it way
oh,
too late. He
no,
should have
too
been cocky
soon.
earlier.
Too soon. Too soon. That's something
Soon?
I think he should have pulled that out at the final tribal and said something about, yeah, when I felt really unsure, here's what I did. Right?
Well, like when what was it? Drea had the knowledge is power challenge or
Yeah.
advantage. Jeff was allowed to be the lie detector and be like, I'll know
Yes.
if they're lying.
Yes.
But Jeff doesn't have to be a lie detector there. You think Romeo should have just held on to that lie a little bit longer?
Yeah, I don't know. Because if he didn't pull it out, Jeff doesn't have to say anything.
That's a good point.
Because Marianne still had an idol in her pocket. He didn't make her pull that out.
Do you think Romeo could have like said at the final tribal, like, well, without getting too ahead of ourselves, but do you think he could have used that more? Like,
Well, I think he should have tried. And
well,
I'll
he
get
couldn't
into
use
that.
it again because they were at
No,
final five.
but as a here's what
Look,
I
I
did.
kept this from you.
Here's what I did to try and improve my game, kind of a thing.
Oh, that's
I
fair.
was smart
That's
enough
fair.
to try and do this. But we'll get into that when we get there because I have lots to say about that.
Okay, well, I was really surprised because it goes to a commercial and we go right into another challenge.
We do.
Do you remember the name of the challenge?
I have no idea.
Sim Motion.
I personally stepped outside. I hate this challenge so much.
I love this challenge. This is one of my favorites.
It is so not my favorite. Like I said, I stepped out onto my patio and Liam just gave me shots on what was going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
grandma, they're all still in it. Yeah, so and so. Oh no, Marianne. Oh no, Mike. Oh no.
Mike was out so quick. One ball. Jeff even gives him a hard time. He's like, "We're in the warm-up stage, Mike. What are you doing?" And he's like, I don't know."
Anyway, I didn't see it until my second time watching it. And then
Comes
I fast
down
forwarded to the end.
comes down to Romeo of all people and Jonathan. What?
Jonathan
Like
is never going to live this down ever. I mean, he's going to go home, go back to the gym, and everybody's going to be standing there literally laughing.
Here's my 4 notes on this challenge. I wrote Samotion. I wrote Mike is out early. I wrote Jonathan loses to Romeo, and then the next sentence is W2F or WTF. Romeo wins. ... What?
Okay,
That's all I wrote for
that's
this like 10
interesting
minutes of
because
television.
I stepped back inside and Liam and Jess are sitting there, and I just looked at both of them and I went, WTF. And Liam goes, WTF! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation.
See, I followed my my WTF with an exclamation mark and a question mark in my notes.
And Jess just kind of sat there looking at the two of us like, wow.
I cannot, but like of all the like, are you kidding me?
And then Jeff's standing there going, and now Romeo's in charge of everything that happens tonight. And I was like, oh, it hit me. And I
Unbelievable.
was like, I don't even know if I want to watch this.
I kind of felt like that too. I was like, oh, the next half of this episode is going to be annoying until we get to Final Tribal. It's like, I wanted to fast forward to just a Final Tribal.
And
just tell me who makes fire.
They go back to camp, and Romeo is doing all the.
I'll just sit here and let everyone come to me.
Yes. I was like, Romeo. Oh my God. I just don't want to hear you anymore.
It's the necklace condition. It's the immunity necklace.
There's got to be something in there that just makes you go crazy.
Yeah, it's like you put a necklace on and suddenly you feel like you have a crown and scepter and you're carried around by multiple people and someone's job is to fan you, or he even makes that joke, or feed you grapes. Like, it's just a thing. I don't know what it is.
He kept talking about, yeah, I'm gonna wear this the survivor tiara and the ribbon.
Well, he's a pageant coach. He has to make references to pageantry. Just like,
there is no tiara.
No, but
there's a check for $1 million. Get over yourself.
That's all I wanted to say. I bet you Sandra would think there's a tiara or some sort of crown.
Well, at least she had the smarts not to say it out loud.
Yeah, but I'm like, if we're gonna forgive Omer's animal references, I think Romeo's pageant references should get a pass.
Okay, you know what? I don't believe that Omer made an animal reference to a survivor thing. He didn't call an idol. He didn't.
Oh, right. Okay.
Stuff. Like, no, you don't mess with that. You just don't mess with that. There is no tiara. Go away.
So essentially, everyone's practicing fire. That's kind of what it is. It's like 5 minutes of everyone practicing fire. Jonathan can do it in no problem flat. Mike runs away to hide and practice.
And has a bit of trouble, struggles a bit.
Yeah. And even Marianne like practices, but she kind of doesn't. She's got her plan B all the way to the end. They show her practicing a little bit, but she doesn't think really.
But at this point, she can't use an idol. Oh, she could have. Could she?
Oh no, she couldn't have.
No, she couldn't.
But she was still. She felt pretty safe.
But she had gotten fairly close to Romeo at that point. And here's the other thing. Romeo took her because even he thought he could beat her. They all thought.
That's a very good point.
Everybody thought Marianne was the GOAT.
I can't, like, even the goat thought Marianne was a goat.
Even the goat thought she was
Even
a
the
goat.
actual goat.
And I
Okay,
was like,
fair enough.
oh, wow, he's going to protect Marianne because he thinks he can beat her. Like, are you kidding? Romeo, you can't beat a piece of paper.
But what, like, okay, so essentially we get to another tribal council. Romeo's got the necklace. He chooses 2 people to make fire. I think Jonathan and Mike is the best call for him based on what he knows. But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like, do you think
Yeah.
if he pitted Marianne and Mike in fire,
Oh, no,
Romeo
he
would have
would.
a better
He
chance?
wanted Mike or Jonathan out. He couldn't go against 2 strong males. He couldn't risk losing Marianne.
But if he did, could he beat Jonathan or Mike?
I don't think you could beat either one of them. I think Mike would have won in that scenario.
Probably, but I feel like he could get a vote or 2 above Jonathan, to be
The
honest.
jury, maybe. The jury was mostly women, I believe.
Oh, snap, you're right.
And Jonathan did not talk to women nicely. Just vote the way
Fair
I tell
point.
you to vote. And
Yeah.
That's where the bitterness might have come in if Jonathan had been in the final 3.
So, I mean, getting to the fire challenge, Mike versus Jonathan. Wow.
Well, Jonathan just is like, I'll just build this little thing and it'll just flare up. No, you actually have to build like a teepee kind of a thing out of the bigger sticks.
Well, it looked like Mike was just piling stuff on top. It didn't look like he
Well, and then
was
he
planning.
Yeah, I don't know.
I cannot believe Mike won in such a convincing fashion.
Oh, I can.
I think my notes actually say, hold on. Yeah, Mike wins ... convincingly.
He is a fireman, and he said when he was practicing, oh, I can start them, not just put them out.
Not just put them out. Yeah, it's a classic line. He had to say it. Yeah.
I think he knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. How do you learn to put fires out without starting a few? Right?
But isn't it weird that everyone else in the episode was like, I don't know if I've ever seen Mike start a fire. So is that like a skill he's kept on the DL this whole time?
Could be. I mean, we all know if you don't know how to make fire, don't go on Survivor.
Fair enough.
Simple as that.
We can get to this later, but Romeo mentions later he learned to swim so he could be on Survivor.
Oh,
the skills you try and learn to try and get on Survivor. It's interesting.
He didn't do a good job at that. Yeah, just I have a lot to say.
Okay, so we got the final 3 is decided. It's Marianne, Mike, because he beats Jonathan in fire making, and Romeo.
Yes.
Then we go to a commercial break. And I really kind of liked when they came back about it gives you those talking heads with the people on the jury.
Right.
Where they're like, what I want to hear from Mike tonight is this, or what I want to hear Marianne say is yada yada. I did like Hai being like, yeah, Mike thinks he's like a man of his word, and I want him to say he was a snake.
I know.
And I can respect that. It's interesting hearing all the jury people talk.
I know. So are we on the commercial break now then?
This is a commercial break.
Okay. So I don't know if you are aware, but there's a new show coming out called The Challenge.
It's not a new show. It's been around for a long time.
Oh, has it? Well, they're doing
it's been around for a long time.
Okay, well,
when I was in Ontario with Murray, it was.
Oh, is that the one you told me to watch?
Yeah, that's her version. Jay has been on it. There's I think 3 or 4 other survivors that have been on it, but
okay, well, I apparently didn't take your word for it, and I never watched it, but it was the actual commercial. And in the new season, guess what they're doing? They are pitting, and I got to tell you, Liam was glued to this.
Canadians versus Americans?
No. They are pitting Survivor people Big Brother people, Love Island people, and Amazing Race people against each other? Close your mouth. So Liam's sitting there, I'm sitting there, and we're looking I'm thinking, we got to watch this, buddy. We got to watch this. And when I voiced that, he's like, yeah, but Grandma, they didn't include Tough as Nails. And I was like, yeah, I know. So you're going to watch with me or no? He goes, yeah. Survivor's obviously going to win. And I was like, yeah.
I don't know if I bet on that.
I don't know.
I want to hear the survivors first.
Big Brother, Love Island, and Amazing Race. I've seen it. No, I haven't seen Love Island, but
I want to hear it. There's been Survivor people on The Amazing Race, like Boston.
Seen The Amazing. Anyway, my money is on Survivor, so is Liam's. So we will be watching that. But anyway, so then there's an actual lull because the commercial is about something Liam's not interested in. At this point, he decides to get down on the floor and show us how he can do push-ups, which was, and he's not bad. I was impressed.
How many did he do?
Well, he only did 2 or 3 because he'd wasted a lot of energy jumping during the show.
Oh, so gotcha.
Right. Okay. But anyway, the funny part was, so we're all sitting there, we're waiting for the show to come back on. And all of a sudden, Jess goes, good ships, bad ships. There are no ships like friendships. And I was like,
Jonathan is a poet.
Like, where did that come from? Anyway, she's like, what are the good ships? What is good ship? Bad ship?
Bad ship? This is bad ship? Holding it?
We're like, okay. Unfortunately, the show came on and I was like, oh, thank you.
But like, what are bad ships? Sunken ones?
Like, what does it even mean?
Does it matter like the wood they're made out of? Do you just need a bad captain or a bad crew?
Oh,
like
good ships and bad ships. Yep, you heard it from Jonathan.
That is funny. The delayed reaction, because that's from pasta when they were eating pasta earlier on. Just waited to that commercial break and it just hit her and she's like,
yeah,
wait, what?
Yeah,
bad ships.
Like, we're probably talking a good half hour from when he said it, right? When she goes, good ships. Bad ships? What?
You know what? Bad ships would be, there's been plenty of them on Survivor where it's been like the Edge of Extinction is a bad ship, right? You gotta raise the flag. Like,
I don't know that he was even referring to that, but anyway.
No, I'm pretty sure he screwed up the quote. There ain't no ship like friendship. I've heard that, but I think he screwed up the intro.
Well, of course he did. He's Jonathan.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we at Final Tribal now?
We are at Final Tribal. Oh my God. This is not how I expected it to go down.
Me neither. I don't remember all the questions.
I didn't write them all down. I wrote big ones down.
Okay. Ask me one of the big ones and pretend I'm Romeo. Ask me a big
one. Hai asks him about what big moves. Oh no, hold on. I'm trying to remember the order because it's physical, strategic, and social.
Right.
So I think it was strategic. And Hai asks Romeo if he gaslighted him because Romeo made this big thing about, I never voted for the person that got eliminated. I threw my vote away on this person and this person and this person. And Hai was like, why throw a vote on me? That was emotional. There was no point in doing that. And called out Romeo for kind of being a bit of a hypocrite.
Well, Hai, I don't know. I guess, I did vote for you, but I did win the final immunity challenge.
So what you're saying is you did gaslight me, though. You did gaslight me.
But I won the final immunity challenge that saved my life because my name kept coming up and I had to do something.
It just doesn't feel, Romeo, like you're owning your decision to gaslight me. You definitely
Well, I knew I had to win that competition or otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, it's just, oh, man. Romeo did such a bad job. Oh my God.
I wanted
crashed and burn here.
You know, every single question he got asked, that was his answer. I won the final immunity. Oh, and you know, what did you do strategically? I won the final immunity.
I did nothing until yesterday.
What was the physical thing you did in the game? I won the final immunity.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What did you think about Omer calling out Mike for being dishonest?
Well, okay, that's exactly why Mike did not win this whole thing.
You think that was it?
Totally it. He was so afraid of being like he'd put forth that he was the good guy and he thought he had this good guy image to the whole jury, but he had a hand in everybody that was up there and they just wanted him to own that. What he should have done was say, okay, I orchestrated this, I orchestrated this, I orchestrated this. Yes, I lied to you. Yes, I lied to you. And I did it because I want to win.
Oh, see, yeah, that's what he should have done. But it does kind of like, it's something I think I've brought up numerous times in previous episodes. It's about the perception you have of yourself when you play Survivor. If you think you're an honest person and no one else thinks you're an honest person, you tend to believe like, oh, what's the other quote?
How could he possibly believe he was honest?
Because he thinks he's an honest guy. He thinks he's an honest guy. That's it.
Oh, that's mind-boggling to me because wow. Okay. All right.
That's like how Jonathan doesn't see how he comes across to women.
I guess
Marianne doesn't get how she's annoying. You know, like Roxroy doesn't see that he's mad about everyone not building a shelter when he's kind of being pushy about it. He doesn't see that. Like, I would go into the game thinking I'm a very clever and funny person, but maybe none of my jokes land and no one laughs and everyone just thinks it's annoying. Who knows?
Marianne did at one point, though, really settle down because she realized that she was being annoying. She
heard her name get brought up a bunch of times. Yeah. I also wrote here in my notes, I just want to say this out loud. I love Omer's socks. They were light blue with flamingos on them that matched his shirt.
Are you kidding me?
Curious. Go back and watch it.
Where is that?
A Final Tribal. He's got a shirt that matches his
Where do you see his socks?
When he's sitting on the jury. He's second row, so he's back and he's up and you can see his socks. Yeah.
Really?
Teal just matches his shirt. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Never noticed. But
I just wrote down, I love his socks.
Kudos to Omer.
And then, you know, I wrote down Romeo learned how to swim. Everyone kind of gave him some props. Everyone was like, really? You didn't know how to swim before, Romeo? Okay, good job. Okay, good job. You learned how to do that. I guess.
I thought Mike came off like he just didn't own his game. And I think
not at all.
When people started, I mean, you're fighting for your life at that one. And when people started saying, we just want you to own this, he should have just let it go and went, yes, I did this. Like, I think he's going to watch this later and just kick himself.
Yeah. I mean, fair.
But I think he had the best time of his life ever.
But it's hard to try and fight your own misconceptions about how you come across to other people.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Because everyone has their own kind of image of themselves. And it's just, you can either accept, like, I think that's where Marianne was a strong suit, is she realized other people's perception of her.
Yes.
So she really came to this Final Tribal with prepared statements. She's
mentally prepared.
Guarantee she was practicing some of these answers in her head. Like Mike tried to do the same thing where he's like, thank you very much for the question. That's a good question. Marianne is like, nope, that was a very good question because it allows me to explain a part of my game that you're asking about. And just Mike
That you
tried,
never
but
saw.
Marianne gave the best answers.
And when
Top
she
to
pulled
bottom.
out that idol, people were like, because she never told a soul. There wasn't one other person in 42 that got an idol that didn't tell somebody.
She never told anybody.
Anybody.
No one knew about
And
that.
all of a
idol.
sudden, she pulls it out of her pocket.
Yeah.
And
it's like,
and
I had a
explains-
plan for Final 3 like 10 days ago. I had a
Yeah.
plan for Final 3 then.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. That was impressive. And I think that's what won her the game.
I still can't believe she got away with not having to use it, though. Realistically, when you think about it, that's some cojones being able
No,
to
but you know what
not
that
use
was?
that.
Like I said, it was everybody thought they could beat Romeo and everybody thought they could beat Marianne. I think she was totally safe.
Okay, I mean, Mike might get some props for being able to build a shelter really quick from Roxroy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked Roxroy in this last episode. I was like, man, you really got a bad rap, man. You were a good guy.
He owned up to being totally out of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
when they were talking about the 3 phrases, he's like,
Yeah, he's like, no, I was just worried about
just
how
spaced
high
out
was
when
I going to have to
Marianne's-
climb and
Yeah.
how far was I going to have to swim and nope, never noticed.
It's just Marianne. She rambles all the time. What I mean, like
Right.
mailboxes, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
What? So
I
then
know.
we get another commercial break, and Jeff decides to tell everyone the big news.
The big news.
Everyone votes. Jeff sits
Or,
down
no,
with
no.
the urn.
Wait,
yeah,
everybody
I know what
goes
you're
and
gonna.
votes.
Yeah,
Everybody goes and votes.
you're gonna
and
mention
then
Jonathan. Yeah,
They're all what? No, just wait. But before that, they all go and vote, right? And then they all think, oh, okay, it's over. Now we can go have a hot shower, eat some food, blah, 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 blah. Commercial break over. And then Jeff says,
there's another twist to this season. And I love Drea and Tori on the jury because they do
like,
that
oh, can we
arms
get
out
back
thing.
in?
They're like, what? And they try and brace everyone back because it's just such a big moment. And he goes, you guys haven't seen season 41. You have no idea that we crowned a winner on day 26. We're gonna do it again. I personally love, like last season and this season, the jury and the players seem to be such a fan of the show.
yes,
That is the reaction I want to see from a jury
Yes.
when that gets sprung.
yes,
Because we all know it's coming because we've all seen 41.
yes,
They don't though.
yeah,
And
I
so
know.
when they're like, oh my God, I'm like, yeah, that's the reaction I would have. Yeah.
Well, I would,
Yeah.
right? Never been done until last year.
So double checked and I figured out who the one vote that was different from the others was.
Jonathan.
Definitely Jonathan.
Had to be Jonathan.
One vote Mike, everyone else Marianne.
Yeah. Okay, so the vote was what, 7-1?
Yes.
Okay. Why are they putting even numbers on the jury? They've been doing that for a while now. What happens if it's a tie?
That's a good question. Hold on. Who's on the jury? We have Roxroy, Tori, Drea, Ulmer, Lindsay. Who else am I forgetting?
Hang on. Lindsay, Jonathan, Hi,
Yeah.
Chanel, Tori.
That's 7. So I think it's 6-1. Oh, Roxroy.
Roxroy, Ulmer, Lindsay, Jonathan, Hi, Chanel, and Tori.
Oh, that's 8. Yeah. Well, I
No,
don't know
no,
why they
7.
put it. Oh, okay. Okay. As long as it's an
Um,
uneven number, then democracy can rule.
who am I missing?
I think there's someone on Drea.
Drea. See, there's 8.
You're right.
So, and they did that last season, and they did that in other seasons, and I haven't figured out. I want to see a tie. Do they
What
draw
would they
rocks
do?
for $1 million?
No way. Make fire again?
Oh,
Oh, that's the only thing I could think of. Unless they were to do the cheesy thing and count towards previous votes. But that's kind of cheesy. There's only been a handful of players that have made it all the way to the end and not received a single vote. It's a small number.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very small.
So that essentially wraps up the bare bones of it comes down to this. Yeah, Marianne is your season 42 winner.
Wow. I mean, I'm glad. And
yeah,
Canadian.
That's right. 2 Canadians, 2 in a row.
2 in a row. 2 in a row.
Last African American survivor, well, like African Canadian survivor since, well, female. It would be Vecepia. That's like. Well, no. I think it's Vecepia is the last kind of black winner that wasn't named like female. Male, it would have been Jeremy.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a while. That was like season. Oh, Vecepia was season. Single digit.
Single digits? When did Sandra win?
Yeah, but Sandra isn't necessarily. Sandra's. Okay, let me double check. Vecepia survivor win. I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong. Vecepia. There we go. That was Marquesas. So that was a long time ago. That was season. Oh my god, what season? Oh wow, I didn't realize how many challenge wins she had. Anyway, but yeah, that was a while. That was the first time you saw Boston Rob was Survivor Marquesas. So that was the last time a black woman has won Survivor.
Right.
Last female, yeah, would have been Erica last season. Spoilers, sorry. And then yeah, Sandra would have been whenever her second one was. I can't remember the last female survivor before last season. It was a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So yeah, really, really good season.
All in all, I think it's good.
Uh-huh.
Or I like this season, and it turned out I'm happy Marianne won.
I am. If the only way I probably would have been disappointed is if Romeo won. That's the only way I would have been like, I don't know what's going on in the world anymore. I would have been
eating my shirt.
That's right. You are on tape as that being your promise.
I am. That's how confident I was. I was a little scared when he was in final 3, though.
Shall we get into a little bit of a post show?
Oh, I think we should.
Okay, if you guys want to hear what we're going to talk about next, go to patreon.com/the Survivor Buffs, and you'll be able to hear what we're going to talk about next. But until then, we'll be back next week. Not sure what we're going to do, but we will be back next week.
It'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. Okay, now we're on. Now no one can hear us.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Man, okay. Players you want to see come back.
No, I'd rather talk about not eating my shirt first.
Oh,
right. Let me tell you, when Romeo won that, and was in the final 3, on one of the commercial breaks, we actually had a discussion about how Romeo could actually win this game.
What about that little part where Romeo's like meditating on the rocks and everyone's like, I don't know,
No.
Romeo's playing a good game. I don't know. And I was like, oh.
The scenario around our little table here went like, if we're right about how everybody's so bitter and it's Jonathan and Mike, right? Maybe they will just give the money to Romeo just to piss Jonathan and Mike off. And I was like, oh, no, that can't happen. Anyway, it didn't happen. So we're all good. Who do I want to see come back?
Yeah. Like four players, 2 guys, 2 women. How about that?
Give me 2 minutes while I let my cat out, and I will think about that. Seriously, talking.
I'll go about mine. The 2 women I'd like to see come back, definitely Drea. I like Drea. And you know what? It's a bit of a dark horse pick, but I'd like to see Lydia back. And for men, definitely Omer. And not gonna lie, Roxroy. There, I said it.
Okay. I want to see Jonathan come back.
Everyone does. Yeah.
I want to see
you want to see a calendar where he's every month. Yeah.
No, I want to see him come back so I can laugh at the way he talks to women.
Okay. And I just want to hear him say Mr. Jeff more.
Yeah, well, that too, right? And I
do like Lindsay though.
Who was the guy that got voted out first?
I don't have my list. Pre-merge. Hold on, I'll double check, but continue.
I don't think he got a fair shot. I want him to come back.
Okay.
And women on this episode.
Oh, technically the first one voted out was Zach, the nerdy kid.
I want Zach come.
But it's also technically Jackson because of the medical evac.
Right. No, I want Zach to come back.
Zach could be good. I like Zach. I also like Daniel. Shot. Do you remember Daniel? I love Daniel.
Yeah, I do. I want Zach, Omer, Jonathan, and maybe Tori.
Oh, not a Tori fan.
All right.
I just
think it makes for good watching.
No, but I'm actually looking at the full cast list right now, and it feels like they do sort of kind of go with different archetypes, right? Like you gotta have a physically fit blonde. You gotta have like a big, strong guy. You have to have a nerdy guy. You have to have different ethnicities or ethnicities of women and men. You need to have a nerdy girl. You need to have
gotta be a diverse cast.
Yeah, but I feel like I can make comparisons to Mike versus Tony.
Sure.
Or I could make comparisons to it just seems like they go with personality types.
Oh, sure they do.
Like if Zach isn't a Cochran or a he might as well have been cast on Davis versus Goliath,
right?
Like back in the day,
yeah. Anyway, I liked him. I'd like to see him back. I think I could live without the hourglass, although I'm really keen to see it in a different light where it does not get smashed.
I hear you.
But I feel I have just as much a chance of that happening as a shot in the dark saying you're safe.
I was just about to make a joke about how all season 43, my bold prediction every week is going to be a shot in the dark gets played successfully.
There you go.
Oh, man. It has to happen once, right?
You think so? I'm not a fan of the risk your vote.
Yeah, me neither.
That could go. I'm just not
going without a vote is so much worse, I think, than getting an extra vote.
Yes. And I really want to see Do or Die stay. because it makes, just listen, it really affects who stays in that challenge and doesn't. Now think about it. If Lindsay had have listened to her gut and and stepped down, Jonathan would have been do or die. Because he would be the only one in the challenge.
But he would have automatically won immunity.
Would he?
That's an interesting question. I'd be curious to know if they would just give him the necklace, or would they say you have to do both?
I don't know.
Here's a necklace. If you don't win do or die, you're safe.
But do or die affects that challenge, and I want to see that one stay.
It will be different with a lot of the twists and advantages in season 41 and 42. I would like to see them all. Like, I hate some of them, yes, but I'd like to see everyone adapt to them after already seeing them.
Well, that's going to be interesting too, right? Like, I can't wait if they keep Beware Idols, which sounds like they might. I mean, who knows? But I want to see how 43 deals with that, because now, keep in mind, idol searching has gone to a whole new level now that people have seen 41.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, there's
I want the first survivor ever to go Beware Advantage. I'll just leave it there. I'll lead another horse to water. Yeah. Like, I'll bring a tribe mate over and be like, oh, what's that? Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, now you have to read it. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see someone try and fake out.
Who's gonna really open that idol? You could find that idol now. Wait until somebody else at Immunity Challenges says the phrase, right? And then open yours.
Oh, yeah. Well, now we know you don't have to say the phrase, apparently.
Well, no, that was a shock to me.
In season 41, me and Drew thought you had to say the phrase. And in this season, Mike just said, I'm not going to. Unless I have to.
I didn't get that. I was sure that I thought there was going to be a consequence.
Yeah. I did not read the fine print either.
You must say at the next. Well, no, you don't.
But speaking of advantages, there's been 2 seasons in a row now that the knowledge is power hasn't given you any power. Do you think they're going to bring that back? The same trick both times. Just give me your idol so that way I can not lie. It's happened twice.
Now that somebody's seen it, nobody is telling anybody when they have that knowledge power. Nobody is telling anybody.
But do you think next season there's going to be a whole bunch of secrets and they're just not going to do the knowledge is power again? Just to try.
I think they're going to do the knowledge power.
Just to try and test the lab mice, see if they
anybody that has an idol is not telling anybody.
It is going to be interesting because there is a bit of a meta game to Survivor, right? Like,
totally.
You kind of be like, oh, this person's doing this. Well, I know what they're probably doing. Like, we need firewood, and yet there's no firewood, and everyone's probably idol hunting or alliance making. Yeah.
Exactly. So, think about season 42 if they knew what happened in season 41, like how it's going to change drastically.
It is going to change drastically, but the days are still going to be the same. I'm pretty sure they're going to do no food. All of the advantages are.
Do you know what? Back. I think here's the one change. I think because you watched the reunion, right?
Yep.
Okay. The one thing everybody said because Jeff asked them, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? What do you think of this? And people were like, just no food, not good. Right? I think they're going to go back to basic rice.
Oh, that can be a bold prediction for episode 1 of season 43. I think they will get
hands food. Hands down. I said it first. That's going to be mine.
I was thinking maybe someone forgets to unhook their boat and really shortchanges themselves. Do you remember that?
Okay.
They
Season
just could not
41.
paddle, and they were like, "Oh, we have to unhook our boat from the anchor."
No,
Oh,
but they were anchored at both ends and they unhooked one but not the other.
yeah.
And they
They
were
they
just,
dragged the anchor. They still made some progress. It
I
just
know,
not
I
much.
know. And they were like, what? Anyway, do you think, did they do the amulet in, no. Okay.
No, the amulet is new.
I wonder if they'll bring that back. I kind of liked that.
I liked the amulets. I also liked the triangles and filling the bucket with water. Day one.
Well, they had that in 41.
I know, but that's something I liked from 41 that I'm glad they kept.
Yes.
Fill this
That
bucket
is
of
good.
water or count how many triangles. Because
I like
it shows you Jonathan's character right away. Jonathan's like, I count like 17. And someone's like, I meant 38, bud. And
Oh,
he's
I'm
like,
pretty sure he
I'll
said
go
like
build a shelter. Sorry. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he said like 9.
Yeah,
I
and
can
they're like,
see
oh, we're
9.
double digits, man. Just go chop down some trees. Like, we got this. We got this.
Exactly. Now, but that worked out really well in 41 for the two guys that did the water thing. Had to
Yes,
fill the barrel because they
that
got
was
to go idle
Danny
hunting.
and they went idle hunting, but Nasir called them out last season and
Yeah,
was
but they
like,
still got the
they're taking
challenge
long
done.
to fill. Yeah, but they got caught idle hunting.
They lasted longer than Nasir though.
True. Yeah, Deshaun and Danny. Yeah,
Deshaun and Danny. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I don't mind that.
just
But
the
they
risk
do.
your vote thing. The risk your vote
I
thing.
like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's got to
Terrible.
go. I like that if you lose the challenge, you lose your flint because
Like that. Yeah.
I do like that. Like,
Yeah.
and if you have rice to actually cook, there's more incentive to win that challenge because you don't want to lose your fire.
Well,
Right?
yeah, okay, I can see what you're saying, but they get fishing gear normally within the first couple challenges, so they
Yeah, but how many of
could
them
fish.
actually catch fish?
Yeah, it seemed like that got put by the wayside this season.
Didn't it
No
though?
one's there hasn't been a Rupert since Rupert.
So
Yeah.
that was funny when Final Tribal Mariana is talking about like kind of what she did around camp, and she was like,
The
"Oh,
skills
I
the
scaled
skills she
and
brought
cleaned
to
the
the camp.
fish," and
Yeah,
I was like, "What fish? I
yeah,
never
it's
saw her
like,
do that. Did
yeah,
she?
they
Did
did
she?
that did
Apparently
not
she
make it
did.
into the final cut, Marianne. Sorry.
But apparently she did because everybody knew it, and I was like,
Apparently, yeah.
So wait a minute, you did eat?
I did kind of like, well, no, there was some challenges where, wasn't there a challenge where they just got 7 fish waiting for them back at camp? Right? Giant blue
7
and
of
purple.
the biggest freaking fish I've ever seen
Right?
for like what, 4 people, 5 people? And
Yeah.
I was like, it's not like they can preserve this fish. What are you doing?
Oh, cooking it and eating it immediately. Yeah. That's the other thing we didn't discuss when that episode came up. Yeah, there's no way of preserving it. What do?
You eat.
You eat it that night. You eat for
You
the
eat
next 8
until you're
hours
sick.
and yeah, exactly.
Maybe there's not a lot of meat on those fish. They looked pretty ornate.
Oh, they look colorful. I'll tell you
They
that.
did.
I've never seen fish that
They
look
did.
that many colors. That's like,
Yeah, I know. There was some weird things.
and by the way, when they're doing that challenge later on in the episode, the one where Romeo wins, and there's that view of the
Yes.
crystal blue water, and they're
Yes.
high up. Like no one was looking at the challenge. They just immediately look behind them and they're like, "Whew, it's a pretty good view, Mr. Jeff."
Oh, I know, right?
Like it's nice. Well, shall we cut it there? And
yeah.
anything more you need to bring up?
Well, I don't know. We'll think about what we're gonna do next. We're considering reviewing the very first episode, Survivor Borneo, and I'm all in. I would love to talk about that one.
I can't wait to see Rudy on camera again. wasn't this, I think I remember telling you when season 1 came out, I'm like, oh, there's a guy on this season named Dave, and he's a rocket scientist.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, his name's Dave. He's a rocket scientist. I was like, I'm in. Like, I think I think I got that season right. I could be wrong. But there's definitely someone on this season that makes a bowling alley on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, enough.
Yeah. So we're gonna probably go through Borneo episode 1 and go all the way back. We should probably be able to get through Borneo or what's season 2, Australia or Africa?
Ooh.
Can't remember.
Want to say Africa, but I could be wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Africa, because then you get Ethan, you get Jerry, you get Colby. Oh,
yeah, it could
it's
be
a good season.
Yeah.
You get covered in tattoos, loops in his Lex. You get Lex in that season. Tina.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
So many
so
old school
it'll be
survivors.
An interesting summer for us.
But next week we will come out with an episode. We're just not sure which season it's going to be.
All right.
But stay
It'll be
tuned.
A surprise.
We'll also be recording Predictinator for our Patreon backers, the people watching this right now.
For
this
our
will
final.
be on, for our final Predictinator. I don't think we couldn't do it for a previously aired season. We're gonna have to
that'd be pretty
else.
hard to do considering I've seen them all 3 times.
Yeah, we might have to have some additional, 20-minute episode to put on our Patreon.
We'll think of something.
We are not going to forget about the fans. We will give you what you paid for.
You betcha.
So we will be back next week. Thank you very much for listening. TalkingSurvivor@gmail.com. Please let us know anything, questions. If you think I should get a haircut, if you think mom should put a poster behind her, whatever.
All right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Let's do it. Okay. Have a good day.